Welcome all the participants and our speakers and my co-moderator Rita Anandji. Welcome everybody. Now today we are going to have panel discussion on the topic of functional foods during COVID. So we have our eminent chairperson, Dietitian Ritu Singh and Dietitian Richa Srivastav, who have been having
Hello.
very vast experience of clinical dietetics of past 18 to 20 years and have been practicing in the same. Okay. Our co-moderator Rita Anand is a dietitian in SGPGI working with gastrointestinal faculty and has many paper presentations along with her. Then we have very eminent speakers, dietitian Neelam, dietitian Prashni, dietitian Shelvi, dietitian Preeti, and we do have dietitian Shubhi Tandon. Okay, I am myself Monica. I am also a practicing nutritionist and I am associated with Goki Consultancies, Mumbai. Right? So we'll start this eminent session with all the participants, and I would request my chairpersons to please continue and inaugurate this session with their few words. But I would also tell all the participants that we will have a question answer session with them at end of all the presentation. So if you have n number of queries, you can place it to them and get your questions right. Okay, so let's start. Dietitian Ritu, please continue. Please.
Hello, good evening to everyone. I am very much pleased to be a part of this beautiful NutriCon. And as we all know that functional foods are very important in our diet as they are the source of micronutrients. As we all know, micronutrients are needed for each and every cell functioning. The cellular metabolism depends upon the supplementation of micronutrients, and the sources are the functional foods. Those are fruits and vegetables and other bioactive food items. As we are in, like we are using these things, the ginger, the turmeric, they are all the bioactive compound. They contain the bioactive compound, which is also important in strengthening and enhancing the immune system. So today we will going to start our session and discuss all these factors which help to strengthen our immunity. Thank you so much.
Hi, Richa. Can we have few words?
Hi. Hi. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're very well audible. Thank you.
All right. All right. So it has been the role of functional foods has been very well explained by Rituji, and it has been like it is my pleasure to join all of you at this panel. It is indeed going to be a very great learning experience, even for us as chairpersons, despite being in the field for such a long time. Every day we are learning while we are practicing, right? So it is like a forum where we can collaboratively learn and teach. So it is indeed a pleasure for me. And very well said by Rituji that functional foods are the components, they are the bioactive compounds which specifically work upon one particular area of our cellular function which we want to target, right? So those are the specific bioactive compounds, and the sources of those bioactive compounds, we classify them as functional foods. They can be fruits and vegetables, very well said. They can be our spices, like we can turmeric, black pepper, cinnamon. All these can be categorized very well into functional foods. And the biggest functional food for me, I think it is water. Hydration is such an important thing, such an important thing for the homeostasis of our body, that we cannot just overlook it. We may not consider it as an energy giving nutrient, but definitely it is something which is essential for releasing that energy and for the functioning of the entire body processes. So very much interested in taking this discussion forward, and let us take the discussions up with our speakers. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. We had our co-moderator to speak on this session again. but I think due to network issues, she'll be there soon. So she wanted to tell about more on, on the introduction of how we can continue with this immunity right now. Okay, so whatever we have to make up on that. Sooner we'll have a nutritionist, an upcoming budding dietitian Neelam here to speak for ourselves, and she'll be there to discuss a lot of Ayurvedic options for us too, like the various teas we have. This lady has been practicing in Kanpur and she is a qualified lecturer too. Okay, so we'll have our dietitian Neelam, Neelam Chaudhary, and she'll be telling us the various functional foods.
Hello, good evening to all the panel members and the participants. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing team of Nutricon for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this wonderful event. Today I will talk about some herbal teas. Let me share the... Is it visible on the screen?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. So today I'm here going to describe about the importance of some herbal teas. Well, you all know that a strong immune system could be the perfect solution to tackle this pandemic COVID-19. So the next question that arises is how you can boost your immunity in a way that doesn't harm your body. We must drink herbal teas and use herbs in our food to detoxify our system. Herbal teas, commonly called tisanes, are beverages made from the infusion or decoction of herbs, spices, and other plant material in hot water. The antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals found in herbal teas are of great to fight disease and infection, protect against oxidative stress, and lower the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, and heart diseases. Now, there are many ways and variations in making herbal teas depending upon one's liking, availability, and climatic conditions in your area. For example, some herbs like mint, tulsi, fennel, rose petals have cooling effects, whereas some herbs like ginger, cloves, nutmeg, pepper, cinnamon produces a lot of heat in our body. One very important point is to crush or powder these herbs and spices in the mortar and pestle, otherwise you won't get their proper flavors. Some of the best immune boosting teas are ginger tea, green tea, chamomile tea, moringa tea, matcha tea, tulsi tea, lemongrass tea, peppermint tea, black tea, and yellow tea. So here I am going to discuss about the ginger tea. In fresh ginger, gingerols are the major polyphenols. It contains essential elements such as manganese, copper, zinc, and selenium. It helps fight inflammation and stimulates the immune system also. It is best known as a remedy for nausea, especially in early pregnancy, nausea caused by cancer treatment, and motion sickness. Ginger may help to prevent stomach ulcers and relieve indigestion or constipation. Some studies have found that ginger supplements help to control blood sugar and blood lipid levels. A teaspoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of honey can be added to enhance its flavor as well as its medicinal property also. It is a good remedy for cold, cough, and sore throat when added with pinch of cinnamon, pepper, clove, and tulsi. Also, it can be taken in the morning for weight loss. Patients with heartburn and stomach upset should avoid taking it in large quantity. Now the next I will discuss about green tea. Green tea contains a catechin called epigallocatechin 3 gallate. In short, we call it EGCG. Catechins are natural antioxidants that help prevent cell damage and can reduce the formation of free radicals in the body and reduces the risk of cancer. Green tea contains less caffeine than coffee, contains the amino acid L-theanine, which can improve brain functions. The bioactive compounds in green tea can have various protective effects on the brain. They may reduce the risk of dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and Parkinson's disease. It may boost metabolic rate and lead to increased weight loss also. Green tea may cause mild reductions in blood sugar levels and lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. Some studies show that people who drink green tea have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease and lower total and LDL cholesterol also. Patient with ulcers and acid reflux should not consume it in an empty stomach. Now I will talk about the chamomile tea. It is a herb that is extracted from daisy-like flower of Asteraceae plant family. It has medical benefits and help you stay healthy. It is caffeine-free, so help people having lack of sleep and insomnia. Its calming effect is due to an antioxidant called apigenin, which binds to specific receptors in your brain that may decrease anxiety and initiate sleep also. Chamomile tea is loaded with antioxidant called flavones that may play a role in lowering your risk of several diseases, including heart disease and cancer. It may protect against diarrhea, stomach ulcers, nausea, gas due to its anti-inflammatory effect. People with history of severe allergy should avoid chamomile tea. One more thing I would like to add here, this is not the replacement of any medication. So you can take it 1 or 2 cups in the day or in the morning. The next tea is Moringa tea. Moringa oleifera is a plant also called the drumstick tree. Often it is also called the miracle tea also. Has been used for centuries due to its medicinal properties and health benefits. It has antifungal, antiviral, antidepressant, and anti-inflammatory property. It might combat infection caused by Salmonella, Rhizopus, and E. coli. Due to its anti-inflammatory properties, moringa extract might help to treat conditions such as arthritis. Due to its antidepressant property, it is very helpful in treating depression, anxiety, and fatigue. It also contains calcium and phosphorus, which keeps your bones healthy and strong. Moringa may help reduce the severity of some asthma attack and protect against bronchial constrictions, assist with better lung function and breathing. So during this pandemic, this tea will be going to be very helpful for all of you. You can take it to prevent. Now, next is Ayush Quack. Rather, it is not a tea, we can call it Kara. According to the health experts, while coronavirus reduces the immune response of the infected person, it has also been observed that mostly it targets people with a low immune system. Our respected Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, in his Mann Ki Baat radio program, reiterated usage of Ayush healthcare system, saying that people across the world are paying special attention to the importance of Ayurveda and yoga amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ayush Quack will have all the herbs enlisted by the ministry. There are many herbs in Indian traditional system that can boost immunity and keep many diseases away. The formulation made of herbs tulsi, that is basil leaf, dalchini, cinnamon bark, sunti is dry ginger powder, and Krishna marich is black pepper. It is being manufactured and sold in the generic name Ayush Quack. This formulation is available in powder and tablet forms with a method of preparation. So this was all about my today's topic. I hope you all liked it. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was really good. I was very happy to hear of her. Okay. Uh,
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Great. So now we have our next dietitian, Dr. Dietitian Shubhi Tandon. She is an owner of her own clinic there in Kanpur. And now we'll have again here. Please continue, Shubhi.
Shubhi, we can't hear you. Monica, please check. I think she's not audible.
Can't hear. Shubhi, you're not audible.
Ma'am, your audio is on mute.
Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Yeah.
I think you again muted yourself. Shubhi, you again muted yourself. Please unmute. Please unmute, Shubhi. We can't hear you, Shubhi. Shubhi, we can't hear you. Shubhi, I think you haven't unmuted yourself.
Should we just check for the audio settings in your system? It should show audio from computer or internet. Monica, in the meantime, can we have the next speaker?
Certainly, we can have next speaker. Till then, we have a query out here where somebody has asked. I would request the chairperson to please answer this. They are asking, can we add ginger in the milk tea? When we drink milk tea, can we add ginger to it?
Yes, we
Yes.
can. But the
There is
efficiency of chemicals become lesser. I'm sorry.
See, also since when we make ginger, the way we make the milk tea usually in our households, it is like we kind of boil it thoroughly, like it is boiled for a longer period of time. The flavonoids or phytochemicals that we are talking about, they are very sensitive to heat and temperature. So we really need to keep in mind that when we are using the phytochemicals for specific purposes, we have to heat them only to the temperature till that time they are not denatured. So if we really want to have a good benefit of the phytochemicals from the ginger, then we need to make sure that it is not overboiled or overheated, right? Otherwise, as such, if we talk about nutrient interactions, so there is no contraindication as such that ginger cannot be had with milk or anything. There is no contraindication. So it can very well be had with milk tea if one wants to.
Thank you so much. This question was asked by our fellow dietitian Molly. And so
Okay.
I hope, Molly, you are satisfied with the answer. Okay. Thank you so much. So next, we can have our next speaker. Preeti is here. Preeti is here to speak. She is also an eminent dietitian here working, and she also has a lot of experience with her, and she is a clinical nutritionist. So let's have Preeti next. Okay, Preeti, you are online.
Hello. Hello.
Preeti? You can hear us?
Hello, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please continue, Preeti, and please unmute yourself. We can hear you very well. Please mute your audios. Open your audios.
Hello.
Hello, yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Preeti, please continue. We can hear you well.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello. I, I'm
Yes,
audible.
yes, you are very well audible. Please continue.
Yes, yes.
Good evening, everyone. As we discussed about some superfoods, now I am presenting one more superfoods. Uh, that is fenugreek seed. This is my first slide.
चुप रहो मोहित प्लीज.
Other name is bird food, bong shankly, Greek hay seeds, buckhorn, chandrika, and methi seeds. The scientific name is Trigonella phoenum gracium. The cultivation is from Calhoun era. Uh, Fenugreek was discovered to have a medicinal quality. Because of their sweet maple syrup like smell and flavor, fenugreek seeds are also added in artificial maple syrup, candies, ice cream, beverages, etc. These are the health benefits. The first point is reduce inflammation in the body. The anti-inflammatory and antioxidant property of fenugreek seeds fights inflammation. It has a good medicinal quality. It is really good for management of metabolic and nutritive disorder like diabetes. That's why it is really good for reducing
उसकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही है, पता नहीं मेरे में नहीं आ रही कि
Am I audible?
You are audible. Please continue.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, you are audible. Yes,
You are audible.
please start. Yeah.
Hello. Ma'am. Hello. Hello. My next point is digestive problem. Hello. Am I audible?
Very well audible. Please continue.
Yes. Then the next point is digestive problems. Improved digestive problem. It has an effective treatment for gastritis and indigestion. It is also help management constipation as well as digestive problems created by stomach ulcer. Because of their lubricating property is smooth your stomach and intestine. The next point is maintaining healthy testosterone level. This is a male hormone, तो main related problems के solve करने में ये बहुत helpful होता है. The next point is improve cholesterol level. Researchers have proven that fenugreek seed help to lower the cholesterol level, especially bad cholesterol or LDL in our body. Fenugreek seeds have a flavonoids that lower the lipid level in those who have high cholesterol level. The next point is promote breast flow milk. It has also helped breastfeeding women who may experience low milk supply. It acts as galactose, which is a substance to increase milk supply. It is also help in control diabetes. Some research has shown that consuming fenugreek seed mixed with food during a meal can lower a blood sugar level, especially in type 2 or type 1 both patients. The fiber in fenugreek from a thick and sticky jelly in intestine, which make it harder to digest and remove excessive fat and cholesterol. The next point is this is a nutrition fact per 100 gram. These are the calories: 23 kilocalorie fat, 65 gram. As you can see, इसमें electrolytes present होते हैं, minerals present होते हैं, vitamins भी अच्छे amount में present होते हैं. हेलो,
मैं मतलब ऑन एयर पे
Next slide.
कर रही है ग्रीन लाइट. अभी प्रीति मैम बोल रही हैं.
Side effects of fenugreek seed. It is likely safe for people when by mouth in amount normally found in food. Side effects include diarrhea, stomach upset, bloating, gas, dizziness, headache, face swelling, and maple syrup odor in urine. If you consuming safe dose, that no side effects found. बट अगर आप उसे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा कंज्यूम करते हैं डेली सेफ डोज से, तो उसके साइड इफेक्ट्स देखे जा सकते हैं. द रिकमेंडेड डोज ऑफ फेनिक सीड इज बिटवीन 2.5 to 15 gram daily. So it is important to take to your doctor or dietitian about your intention and ask for recommendation based on your weight or a factor. Next slide. This is मेथड कि आप कैसे उसे सोक करके यूज कर सकते हैं, या फिर उसको स्प्राउट्स फॉर्म में यूज कर सकते हैं, या तो उसे आप अपनी मील में भी ऐड करके यूज कर सकते हैं. ये कुछ रेसिपीज हैं जिसे आप अपनी फेनिग्रिक सीड्स को ऐड कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि पराठे में के बैटर में आप उसे ऐड कर सकते हैं, अपनी सब्जी लड्डू प्रिपरेशन के बैटर में भी उसे ऐड करके यूज कर सकते हैं, और अपने अचार में भी ऐड करके यूज कर सकते हैं, सूप्स में यूज कर सकते हैं, पुलाव में यूज कर सकते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच.
So much, Preeti. Meanwhile, we again have a question where we being asked that how can we use fenugreek for people who have hypoglycemia? So, if our eminent chairperson could answer this question, if people have hypoglycemia, can they use fenugreek?
Hello, because fenugreek has a hypoglycemic effect. So when you are facing hypoglycemia recurrently, you should avoid fenugreek seed. Though it is a good source of soluble fibers, it helps to manage diabetes. But when you are having hypoglycemia, the reason are many. You are not taking proper diet, or your insulin or your hypoglycemic drug is more than you need. If you are having hypoglycemia, you should go for your physician and you should titrate your medicine. Until then, you should not use fenugreek seed.
Wow, that's so knowledgeable. So now we have again dietitian Shubhi. So please, Shubhi, let's have you again on board. Please
Yeah.
continue.
Sorry for the previous one. Actually, there was some network issue, I guess. So
No
I'm
issues.
going to
Please
present my
continue.
present. Yeah. So I'm now going to share my slides. Role of vitamin C and iron in this pandemic situation. So let's come with brief introduction about vitamin C, or also known as ascorbic acid and ascorbate, water soluble vitamin. Our body can't produce it, so very essential to take it. Vitamin C is found in various foods and sold as dietary supplements too. It is used to prevent scurvy, an essential nutrient involved in the repair of tissue and the enzymatic production on, of certain neurotransmitters required in the biosynthesis of collagen and L-carnitine, accumulates various types of immune cells to help them combat infection and destroy disease-causing pathogens. The essential food group in COVID-19 patients. A functioning immune system is crucial in the fight against COVID-19. To maintain, the body needs sufficient vitamins and other nutrients, and that is exactly what many people lack. Vitamin C is found in citric fruits and vegetables, an antioxidant and reducing agent. Its uses include treatment of respiratory tract infections and cancer. It encourages it encourages the production of white blood cells known as lymphocytes and phagocytes, which helps to protect the body against the infection. Supplements are usually 100 to 200 milligrams, depending upon severity of diseases. Effects or symptoms of lack of vitamin C are rough and bumpy skin, corkscrew shaped hair, bright red hair follicles, spoon shaped fingernails with red spots of lines, dry and damaged skin, easy bruising, slowly healing wounds, painful swollen joints. Some rich sources of vitamin C are Indian gooseberry, citrus fruits such as limes and oranges, tomatoes and its juice, potatoes, yellow and green red bell peppers, kiwi fruit, strawberries, and cantaloupes. Green leafy vegetables such as broccoli, fortified cereals. These are the tables in which the quantity of vitamin C is mentioned in fruits and vegetables. We can find here and what amount of vitamin C is there. So let's move forward as we are having lack of time. Some recommended dietary the recommended dietary recommendations of vitamin C are for men 90 mg per day, women 75 milligrams per day, pregnant women 85 milligrams per day, lactating women 120 milligrams per day, and for children 40 to 120 milligrams per day, depending upon their age groups. Now these are some food recipes with rich vitamin C. This is orange poha, vitamin C rich breakfast recipe with a twist. The main twisty ingredients are fresh orange juice and raisins. This can be made by your local available ingredients. The only twist is after washing poha in water, soak it in fresh orange juice for half cup for 10 minutes and then cook it in a pan after sauteing your veggies. Then add soaked raisins on the top of that. Your poha is ready to eat now. This Maharashtrian delicacy has a perfect balance of taste and nutrition. It is a quick recipe which you can pack for your kids' lunchbox or as a midtime snack or a breakfast dish. The nutrition value of this recipe makes it a perfect dish for people of all age groups. This dish is perfect for someone looking for a light meal as it has a perfect balance of flattened rice, and a tangy orange flavor fruit. So let's move on the next recipe, that is beetroot raita. It looks very tempting, and as well as it has a very good values. It has this beautiful beetroot raita is a mix of nicely roasted beetroots and tender beetroot pieces, which are assembled together with fresh curd and crushed peanuts to retain the simplicity of this humble accompaniment. It is seasoned with the tarka of mustard seeds, curry leaves. You can add any chili powder, black or red, whichever you are having, with the roasted cumin powder, which will completely enhance the taste of the desi dip. Then another food recipe comes with vitamin C, which is this boosting smoothie. This is also a very interesting one. This smoothie is packed with full of vitamin C and D to help and activate and strengthen the immune system. Ingredients are 1 medium-sized orange, half cup frozen mangoes, half cup pineapple chunks, 1 to 3 cup plain yogurt, and 200 ml of fat-free milk. We can combine all together the ingredients into the jar and just pour the milk, fat-free milk, and then blend together, and we'll get a nice color with this nutritive value, full of nutritive value. Now comes the role of iron. It is very vital mineral for proper functioning of hemoglobin, a protein needed to transport oxygen in the blood, helps to preserve many vital functions in the body, including general energy and focus, gastrointestinal processes, the immune system, the regulation of body temperature. Benefits of iron often go unnoticed until a person is not getting enough. Iron deficiency anemia can cause fatigue, heart palpitations, pale skin, and breathlessness. Interrelation of iron and vitamin C. Those suffering from iron deficiency need vitamin C as well. Presence of vitamin C facilitates iron absorption in the body. To beat iron deficiency, you need to consume both iron-rich foods and vitamin C-rich foods and the supplements if required. Studies say that consuming 100 milligrams of vitamin C can improve iron absorption by 67%. Iron absorption is significantly increased by the presence of vitamin C. So both are very important functional groups. Iron and vitamin C also work together in that vitamin C plays a vital role in the synthesis of RBCs, and iron is a vital component of hemoglobin in red blood cells. Now, some important facts of iron are: the RDA varies between ages, but women who are pregnant require the most. Iron promotes healthy pregnancy, increased energy, and a better athletic performance. Iron deficiency is most common in female athletes. Canned clams, fortified cereals, and white beans are the best sources of dietary iron. Too much of iron can get the risk of liver cancer and diabetes. Some general tips for getting more iron and improving absorption are: eating iron-rich foods such as lean meats, nuts, lentils, green leafy vegetables, and fortified breakfast cereals. Consuming a variety of heme and non-heme iron sources, including more rich vitamin C-rich foods and meals such as citrus fruits, peppers, tomatoes, and broccoli. Following a healthful, well-balanced diet. Foods rich in heme and non-heme irons are these: lean red meat, chicken, seafoods, lentils and beans, tofu, fortified breakfast cereals, nuts, seeds, eggs, soya, spinach, kale, seaweed, broccoli, asparagus, and parsley, and many more. These are some iron-rich recipes. The A full course meal which can be prepared: palak matar paneer veg, hara chane kebab, corn veg, corn palak veg, gehu bikaneri khichdi. Too much good for iron as well as a good fibrous food. Mushroom palak veg, beans sprout salad, jar methi chapati. These are the recommended daily allowances for iron in children of different age groups. Uh, so we can move forward. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shubhi. Now we have dietitian Shalvi here to present. So let's have it from here. She is a practicing dietitian in KGMU and under the nephrology department, and she is also pursuing her PhD. So let's hear from her.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Good evening, ma'am, and to all the participants and organizers. Thank you for the opportunity to me to present over here. Today, for my topic is Ayurveda's immunity boosting measure for the self-care during the COVID-19 crisis. As Ayush Mantralaya has told about the Karha that we should take for our boosting immunity. Kadha is an Ayurvedic drink including herbs and spices which are typically boiled in water for the length of the time, allowing all the medicinal benefits to be extracted. It also boosts our immunity, stimulates the digestion, and also detox our body. Nervous हो रहे हैं। These are the ingredients like tulsi. Tulsi, I think tulsi is the only medicinal plant and medicinal herb which has phytochemicals, bioflavonoids, and rosmarinic acid, which is the main component which helps in boosting our immunity. Cinnamon is the next thing which has to be added in the kadha. That is a main anti-inflammatory, antioxidant rich. Its main compound is cinnamonaldehyde, phenolic compounds, and response for the free radicals, damages in which also. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
It helps in fighting the metabolic diseases and also in the oxidation of the fatty acids and lipids. Black pepper is the next ingredient. Its main compound is piperine, which helps in fighting the delaying of the damaging effects of the free radicals. It is also present as the antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Next is dried ginger, or we also call it as sont. It is the main used ingredient in our daily routine, and its main compound is gingerbread, which is an anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant rich. It is the also ingredient which has to be used in the kadha, which is told by Ayush Mantralaya. Next is our raisins and munakka, or it is a phytochemical rich which is present in this, and the phytonutrients and polyphenols which makes the healthy in RBCs building up and fights bacteria. Next is jaggery, which is optional. We can use this as a sweetener, and which is also known as in making RBCs and increasing the blood amount and platelets, which is the composition of calcium, iron, phosphorus, vitamin B, selenium, and zinc. Selenium and zinc are the main thing which is used. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Shalvi. Continue.
I was talking about jaggery. which is used in many of the things which as a sweetener. We should also use jaggery in the place of sugar. And next I tell about the lemon and juice, which is the natural antioxidant rich in vitamin C. And now the method. We have to take water in a deep saucepan and boil it. In the meantime, crush dry ginger, black pepper, cinnamon in a mortar and a pestle, and add all the crushed ingredients along with the basil leaves, raisins in the boiling water. Cook on the medium heat about for 20 minutes or till the decoction is reduced to half, and strain it in a glass and add jaggery or lemon juice according to your taste, and your homemade kara is ready. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much. We are very glad that we make the part.
Good evening, everyone. Am I
Now,
audible?
yes.
Good evening. And that's such a presentation and illustration for giving my presentation. And slides are seen. My slides are seen.
Darshni, please continue.
Hello.
Hello, please continue.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I've taken in pandemic. I've taken two functional foods: turmeric and black pepper. And turmeric, botanical name of turmeric is Curcumin longa, and in Ayurveda is also called Haridra, and in our grunts is also called Hatvilasni, Gauri, and Kumkum. And the main component of the turmeric is curcumin, and the piperine is the main component of the black pepper. And the both are combined, and the increase of bioavailability is 200% increasing. Then comes to benefits of turmeric. In case of chicken pox and smallpox, the paste form of apply in the escaping, and the second use of the is the paste is the apply from the leprosy, and the some juices is the help for vomiting associated with pregnancy. And the second benefits of the turmeric is a detoxifying agent, as you also known as, and the anti-cancerous property also. Anti-cancerous property एक रिसर्च भी मैंने आगे दी है, जिसमें जो है बोन सेल्स का जो है वो इनिबिट करता है बोन कैंसर सेल को, और इंक्रीज करता है प्रेजेंट मतलब हेल्दी सेल्स के इंक्रीजन में, और एंटीबैक्टीरियल प्रॉपर्टीज एंड द एंटी इन्फ्लामेटरी। जैसे कि हमारे घर में जो है कभी चोट लग जाती है बच्चे को, कुछ अगर फर्स्ट एड नहीं होता तो सबसे पहले जो है हम लोग हल्दी और चूने का लेप लगा देते हैं, जिससे चोट वगैरह सही हो जाती है। एंड एंटीऑक्सीडेंट प्रॉपर्टी ऑल्सो। And next is the increased mucin. Mucin is a glycoprotein and is present in salivary gland, and it increase the gastric juice and reduce irritation of the stomach and irritated bowel syndrome and etc. And the next point is the reduced cholesterol level and the weight loss. The best recipe is the turmeric ginger tea. Is the I have also given next slides. And its turmeric is also help to improve arthritis, depression, and neurological functions like Alzheimer disease and Parkinson disease. BDNF is a bone-derived neurotropic factor. It is a factor that helps protein absorption of spinal cord and brain protein absorption.
And the
Sorry,
many
Karshini, I am interfering in between, but use your full slideshow. We are not able to see your slides, I think.
Okay. मैम आ रही है स्लाइड्स?
जो किया था ठीक किया था, बस उसमें स्लाइड शो ऑप्शन होगा नीचे, उसको क्लिक कर दीजिए। That's it.
स्लाइड शो मैम आ रही है?
नहीं, आप अपनी पहले स्लाइड शेयर करिए जैसे आपने पहले किया था।
यस मैम, हो गया।
नहीं, we are seeing you, not your presentation. Yes. Now we are seeing your first slide. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
That's great. We can see you now well.
Yes, good.
Okay,
Continue.
okay.
Please continue.
Okay, ma'am. And many research includes oral curcumin helps in chronic anterior uveitis. Uveitis is an inflammation of the iris and the eyeball. And the next is research. I have added two research related to Washington State University is a help for promote bone cancer cells and promoting growth of healthy bone cells. And the second is the T. Chaturvedi sir. Use of turmeric in dentistry. It is also used in paste form and powder form and helpful for dentistry. And some medicines are also used in Ayurveda. Haridra Kath is also used for cough and colds, and Haridra Churn is also help for respiration, and Haridra Lep is also help for piles. And Haridra Varti is also helpful for eyes, and Haridra Ghee is also helpful for jaundice, and the Haridra Khand is also helpful for allergic patients. And next point is black pepper. Black pepper is also botanical name is Piper nigrum. It is also known as peppercorn and king of spice, and is a main component of piperine and is also found in South India. Says two types of black pepper. Two types of pepper is a black pepper and white pepper. Black pepper is a raw form में तोड़ करके इसको कच्चा सुखा लिया जाता है, and white pepper is a जब ये पक जाता है उसके बाद में इसको सुखाया जाता है. Then it's increased absorption of selenium, B12, beta carotene, and curcumin. It's high in vitamin K, iron, magnesium, fiber, calcium, and potassium. And benefits is also help for constipation, insomnia, sunburn, dental pain, oral abscess, weight loss, skin health, heart disease, anemia, and GI problems. And piperine enhance the bioavailability of the therapeutic drugs and increase absorption of the brush border and villi. Both are turmeric and black pepper are both helpful, and it's एक दूसरे के मतलब पूरक होते हैं, इसलिए ये दोनों चीजों में हेल्प करते हैं. एंटी कैंसरस प्रॉपर्टी इसकी भी होती है, नेक्स्ट टर्मरिक की भी होती है. म्यूटाजेनिक, एंटी कन्वर्जेंट, एंटी माइक्रोबियल, एंटी पैरासिटिक, एंटीऑक्सीडेंट, and helpful for liver and neurological disorder like epilepsy, Parkinson, and depression. And I have added two research of this research on black pepper. First research is ingredient for helpful for chemotherapy, and second is the absorption of antioxidant property, and the recipe of the turmeric and black pepper. Turmeric latte is also known as superfood. Today is very traditional. It is a milk, almond milk, and add turmeric, cinnamon, and black pepper. For gut health, it's used turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper, and ginger. Then lactating women use ginger, turmeric, घी, जैगरी एंड ड्राई फ्रूट्स. जैसे सारे घरों में अक्सर जो है वो सठौरा या हरीरा के नाम से जो है मिल्क इंजेक्शन के लिए जो है ये दिया जाता है. एंड द हेल्दी ब्रेन फंक्शन के लिए इसके लड्डू बना करके दिए जाते हैं जिसमें ब्लैक पेपर है, टर्मरिक, घी, आलमंड इनका यूज किया जाता है. एंड इन कोविड में जो है हमारी इम्यूनिटी को बढ़ाने के लिए टर्मरिक, जिंजर, ब्लैक पेपर, सिनेमन और तुलसी इसका काढ़ा बना करके जो है हम लोग आजकल यूज करते हैं. एंड टर्मरिक जिंजर टी इज द मोस्ट हेल्पफुल फॉर वेट लॉस एंड कार्डियक पेशेंट. इट्स यूज फॉर बॉयल वाटर एंड यूज जैगरी, ginger, and then add turmeric and lemon because turmeric is high in B vitamin, which is B vitamin is heat resistant. So add turmeric after the boiling the water. And some जो है medicines are also used. Is tricut is helpful for cough, cold, and fever. And next is swas kuthar ras is also made of black pepper, is for helpful for respiration, and swas bhairav ras is also helpful for respiration. And the hingwadi chur is also helpful for stomach. Shulvardhani bati is also helpful for stomach. And next is Tribhuvan Kirti Ras is also helpful for cough, cold, fever, and respiration. And the last one is Uberaksh Bati is also helpful for stomach. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Utkarshni, for a lot of Ayurvedic medicines we got to know from you. Now we have our eminent co-moderator, dietitian Rita Anand from SGPGI. She is a gastro specialist and she has eminent papers on her behalf. So let's hear from her about immunity. Rita Anandji, please continue. In the meantime, we have one more question. That can we use vitamin C rich foods along with milk? So, chairpersons, can we rich vitamin C foods along with milk?
And we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, ma'am. I think it's muted. Richard Ji, we can't hear you. Ritu ma'am, can we hear it from
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, actually, milk contains a protein casein, and when we use something sari or rich in acidic thing, that gets curdled. So when you will use vitamin C rich foods like lemon, orange, or anything mixed in milk, that get curdled only. So that makes the milk uneven. So that is the only thing that vitamin C rich foods should not be used with milk. Otherwise, when you talk about the absorption of calcium, it improves with vitamin C. So if you are talking about the nutritive value of the thing with milk, there's no problem. But as the milk get curdles, taste become altered. So that is the issue.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
ऋचा
Okay.
जी आप कुछ ऐड करेंगे? हम आपको सुन नहीं पा रहे हैं. We are not able to hear you.
Okay, there was one more question in the meantime, that can we use fenugreek as a lactocoagulant? Can we do that?
We can, but there is one thing. There's an issue when you use fenugreek for lactating mother. It may alter the taste of the breast milk, and there may be repulsion of milk from the baby's side. So better use cumin or the fennel seeds as a lactogauges rather than fenugreek seed. Otherwise, there is no issue.
Thank you so much. Now we have Rita Anandji. So she'll tell about more about it. So Rita, please go on.
Hello everyone, very good afternoon, very good evening to everyone here. My point is this, I want to discuss here that immunity cannot be enhanced over a night, or it cannot be built more whatever we have. So just my point is, immunity cannot be boosted over a night or a period of time. So I want to just speak that it can be preserved. Whatever immunity we have can be preserved by making lifestyle perfect, by doing some activities like we can take balanced diet, by adding more of the protein rich foods. In this lockdown, due to this limited resources, we still, hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So I want to say that in limited resources, it's a little difficult. If we plan our meal, if we plan wisely, so that we can get the protein and of biological value. So immunity can be preserved by taking balanced diet, inculcating, and next is stay hydrated. So whatever nutrient we are taking are run in our body by the hemoglobin. That is actually fluid or liquid in our body. If we are not hydrated properly, the hemoglobin gets concentrated. So we need to stay hydrated to maintain the fluid integrity in the body as well inside the cell and out of the cell. So hydration to maintain, to boost, to preserve immunity. Third is take more of the probiotic and prebiotic to maintain the gut flora. Gut flora, if it maintained, we can improve our immunity as well preserve our immunity. So what resources are available in our home, like fermented food, idli, dosa, and we have as probiotic, and we need to increase fruits and vegetable as well, whatever is available easily. We need to add prebiotic to maintain gut flora. If gut flora is healthy, so we can be healthy. Infection can be away from us. So maintain balanced diet, stay hydrated, and next is we need not to take the chilled things. Stay away from carbonated beverages, stay away from chilled beverages, caffeinated. Those are they do not provide us as such more of the nutrient, but they take the nutrient from our body as well. So stay away from the coffee, carbonated drinks, and alcohol. They steal the nutrients from our body. Whatever we take, it actually do not provide, it actually provide very less of the nutrient. And whatever we take, that it steals. So do not take more of coffee products and alcohol. Next is, I would ask to everyone here, do not try to be distressed by incalculating try to your hands on nourishing your hobbies, so that we can make ourselves distressed. Being distressed is the state like we can boost our immunity, we can preserve our immunity. So in this session I would ask कि immunity enhance करने से ज़्यादा अच्छा है, ज़रूरी है अभी कि हमारे पास जो इम्यूनिटी है हम उसको प्रिजर्व रखें। प्रिजर्व रखने में आपको ये सारी चीजें को इनकैलकेट करना है डे टू डे लाइफ में, और ऐड करना है कि आपको प्रॉपर स्लीप लें। प्रॉपर स्लीप लेंगे तो आपका सारा बॉडी मैकेनिज्म ऐसे रहेगा कि आप रिवाइव और एनर्जेटिक रहेंगे। रिवाइव और एनर्जेटिक फील करेंगे तो सारे अगेन हम डिस्ट्रेस होने के सारे तरीकों पे आ जाते हैं। योगा एंड एक्सरसाइजेस ट्राई करेंगे सो दैट, हेलो, हाँ, योगा एंड एक्सरसाइजेस ट्राई करेंगे, अपनी हॉबीज को नरिश करेंगे। सो हमारे टी सेल्स और जो दूसरे फैक्टर्स होते हैं जो इम्यूनिटी इनहेंस करने के साथ साथ प्रिजर्व करने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं, हम उनको और भी इम्प्रूव कर पाएंगे। सो हमें फोकस यहाँ भी करना है कि हम सारी चीजें जो हमारे प्रीवियस स्पीकर्स ने यहाँ डिस्कस की या हमारे चेयरपर्सन बोलने वाले हैं बोल रहे हैं कि इम्यूनिटी बूस्ट करेंगे, इम्यूनिटी हम बूस्ट करने के लिए सारी चीजें डिस्कस करें। बट माय पॉइंट इज कि बूस्टिंग इम्यूनिटी इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट और प्रिजर्विंग इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। सो हमें जितनी इम्यूनिटी है वी शुड प्रिजर्व by means of all the modes whatever I have told here. So better we should improve, and as well as we should preserve. We should not take more of cold things. We should not expose ourselves to the cold things that are actually responsible for inflammation. सो इन्फ्लामेशन से बचने के लिए हमें बहुत सारे ठंडी चीजें या कोल्ड चीजों से बचना है सो दैट URI नहीं हो, और अभी इस कोविड एरिया में हम रेस्पिरेटरी इन्फेक्शन से अपने आप को बचा सके। सो ऑलवेज टेक lukewarm food, always try to take lukewarm liquid water or kadha or decoction, whatever is you should be in lukewarm form. So let's continue with other. Monica, can we take questions now?
Yes, we have many questions here.
Hello.
And yes, we have a lot of questions here. And then our next question is that can we take curd as part of gut health and as part of immunity too? That's I think a very, very common question which everybody wants to ask. कर्ड तो ठंडा होता है तो लेना है कि नहीं लेना है, while we say that it is highly rich in probiotics. So आप बताएं please.
Yeah, I would love to discuss curd. Actually, every time we ask to take curd, even if I ask my patient to take the curd, they say no, I can't take, I will not take because ये ठंडा है और हमें upper respiratory tract का infection होने का डर है. But I would suggest every time whosoever is taking curd, take fresh curd. It has lots of good bacteria that is going to immune you. That will help you preserving your immunity in form of like probiotic, whatever is available in form of lactobacillus, streptococcus lactis, that are actually good for enhancing the bacteria, good bacteria that improves the gut flora. If gut flora is good na, so sara system अपने आप mechanism you will feel good. So curd is always recommended from my side, whether it's a dinner, whether it's lunch, whether it's rain, whether it's cold, rainy season या cold, किसी भी season में किसी भी meal में perfectly anyone can have curd.
Oh wow, that's good. So anybody can take curd and it should be at normal temperature, room temperature. Okay, there's another question about probiotics. What are the homemade probiotics we can take for the gut health? Richa ji, I think you wanted to answer, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, Richa ji. Yeah.
We can't hear you. Ritu ji, can we have from you?
All the fermented foods have the microflora, which are good for our number of microfloras in our gut. So the fermented foods as fermented idlis, dhokla, steamed all the fermented foods, and the curd. Curd, as Madam has said, Rita Madam, curd has a good quantity of microflora that are similar to the microorganisms or microflora of our gut. So when we have curd, we get a good amount of lactobacillus and streptococcus, and which help not only to enhance or maintain our immune system, but also to they are very much helpful in digestive process as well. So all the fermented foods, whether it is fermented milk as curd or the fermented cereals as barley water, idli, dhokla, or any other fermented thing, they contain this microfloras, which are helpful to maintain our gut microflora.
Okay, there was one more question from Pratishtha Shukla saying that, do we actually get iron as well as vitamin C in our daily meals? Yes, we have one more question about resource, high protein, resource diabetic and resource dialysis. How can we use them and what are their benefits? I think they are the products of resource, high protein, diabetic and dialysis.
Monica,
Yes, Deep.
Monica,
Hello? Yeah.
hello, can you?
Should I repeat the question? It's about resource diabetic, resource high protein, and resource dialysis.
Okay.
Can they be used, and what are their benefits?
Definitely, resource high protein can be used, but make sure if one is using it for diabetic patient, it should be sugar free. It should not contain any sucrose. So can be taken as a protein intake, as a protein part, but make sure it should be sucrose free. If recommended, or if patient is taking as a diabetic patient, so sucrose free hona hai to can be taken.
Great. Great, happy to hear that. Shubhi, we have a question for you too about vitamin C and iron. How is it, how can we maintain the correlation between them? And now resource is available, so we can now use it.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question?
Question for you is that the relationship between iron and vitamin C. How can we make sure that we get iron as well as vitamin C in our daily, diet, daily meal?
To enhance vitamin C and iron both in our diet, the basic thing and very important thing is to use green leafy vegetables and citrus fruits in our diet. For example, we see many people they don't eat fruits. No problem. They can use lemon. This is a best combination for vitamin C. And in many people eat chutney, coriander chutney. You can add some leaves of spinach, and you can sprinkle some few drops of lemon to it. This is a best example for vitamin C and iron. So or so like this we can interrelate vitamin C and iron together.
Great, thank you. We have a question from Pratishtha Shukla saying that, do we actually get what we eat? I mean, the nutrients get compromised by cooking many a times. So, what are your expert comments, please?
Am I audible now? All right.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
Okay. So I would love to answer
Yes.
this question actually. So the thing is, when we do cooking and when we really want to derive the benefits of the nutrients, we should be wise enough with the way we are choosing the cooking process. If we are treating to very high temperatures for a long period of time, The efficacy of the nutrients is reduced, number 1. The quantities of water-soluble vitamins and minerals is reduced, number 2. And number 3, the nature of the nutrients also gets changed drastically. All right, so we definitely, the best form to get the benefits of any of the nutrients from the said vegetable or fruit or pulse is to try to have it as less cooked as possible. Have it in raw forms, have it in sprouted forms, have it in soaked forms, as salads or as just, just as fillings of your sandwiches or wraps or things like that. You can just blend them in smoothies or in the form of concentrated juices which are not strained. So these are some ways by which we can really keep the nutrient values intact. Having said that, cooking also in some ways increases the bioavailability of certain nutrients. The reason being, there are a lot of nutrient like phytates which are present in fiber-rich foods, like in leafy vegetables. All right. So treating them to a little to some amount of heat or some amount of boiling, I would say high liquid heat, I would say, that denatures the phytates and makes the nutrients more bioavailable. That ways we can gain more amount of nutrients. We are able to absorb more amount of nutrients that we want to from the food. Hope that answers your question.
And there was one more thing
one more thing I just want to add in it. Cooking also destroys the microorganisms which are harmful to us. Not only it increases the bioavailability of nutrients, cooking is also helpful in making it more aseptic, because if you cook the food, all the harmful microorganisms get destroyed, so it becomes more safer for you. So cooking is also good, but you should, as madam said, you should be wise enough that what temperature you are using and for what duration you are using the thing, that is not getting denatured or nutrients get destroyed.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, Pratisha, you are happy with the answers. And we have another question which says that how useful are dairy products in today's context? Okay. So how useful are dairy products in today's context?
So I would just like to know how many of you are vegetarians. Most of us.
Is there any other question? Any more?
Ma'am, no, ma'am. Now I think this is the last question. Yes.
Okay. So, yes, Rita ji, please proceed. Okay, I think Rita ji has okay. Yeah. So, shall I continue or shall we wait for?
Yes, ma'am. You should.
Certainly.
All right. Okay. So my take on this is that most of the Indian population is vegetarian, right? So as it is, we have limited sources of good quality proteins. So limiting the dairy completely will not be very wise. But of course, we should try to choose the kind of dairy that is more absorbable and more bioavailable. By which I mean that we compare milk and curd. The bioavailability of proteins from curd is higher as compared to bioavailability from milk, right? Also, the type of sugars that are present in milk. Okay, those sugars, lactose, by which I mean to say. So lactose, a lot of people get lactose intolerant as we grow. Because as adult human beings, we do not actually require lactose. So our ability to absorb lactose genetically depletes as we grow. So therefore, a lot of adult population gets intolerant to lactose. All right. But the same person would be able to tolerate lactic acid from curd, right? Which is what? Which is just the curdled form of lactose from milk. So that ways, curd is a much better source of protein as compared to milk. But cutting out the dairy completely, I will not be happy doing that for any of my patients, unless the person is doesn't have the gene to absorb that protein.
Rituji, any inputs from you too?
Very nicely explained. Yes, the new trend is that that people are not like willing to take milk because they say that is fattening, that is not good for weight reduction or so, and dietitians are using this. But this is my strong message that milk is a complete food. It contains all the nutrients and all the required essential proteins except the micronutrient iron and vitamin C. And in limited quantity, milk is highly required for the bone health, for the gut microflora, as we have said, this fermented milk, that is curd. So curd and milk should be an integral part of a complete balanced diet, but the amount should be wisely titrated according to the requirement of the patient. So we should use dairy. Yeah, thank you very much.
Sneha says if someone has dairy allergy, then?
Of course, then we are not going to prescribe dairy to them. We have
that is a special situation. That is not for everyone. That is, I think.
We will manage the condition clinically in that case. That would be therapeutic management, which we all are experts in, right? So we will manage that accordingly. Okay, that is what actually we dietitians must think about. We should be the ones not propagating the myths. We should be the ones who bring up the scientific facts and practice the scientific facts. Unless a person is lactose intolerant and we have tested the person and we know that the person genetically cannot tolerate any of the lactose in any form. So in that case, of course, we do not need to go towards dairy. But the person is not lactose intolerant. So in that case, some amount of lactose can definitely and should definitely be included in the diet. And for the person who is lactose intolerant, we have other sources and combinations. And that is where our role comes in, that we have to design the diet plan of the person in a way that the person gets all the essential amino acids in the right amount so that there is no deficiency of any of the specific amino acid, whether it is through the food or whether it is through with the help of any of the supplements if that is required.
Wow, Sneha, I think that answers your question, right? So great. We had a very great interactive question answer session. Thank you, my dearest chairpersons, for putting your inputs. It was really great. We have special vote of thanks for our all panelists, all the speakers, and especially my co-moderator Rita ji. It would haven't been possible if she would haven't been here, and she has put a lot of efforts besides this. And we have our dietitian Vidul Vibha, who did all the efforts behind this. So we have a message from her. She's not able to join, but we have a sample message from her. So let's see that. Wow, our major organizers. Thank you so much, Induja. Thank you so much, Ranuji. This is our Nutricon team. And special auditions to our graphic designers. They have put lot of efforts here. So thank you so much, Sneha and Saundarya. Thank you so much, Nutricon team, and I definitely want to say a lot of thank you to Gokul and Sudeshna ji for their efforts here. So here we conclude the session. Okay, we have our co-moderator Rita ji to speak.
To all, thank those all of to is
Thank you, everyone. There were little bit many questions solved. Thank you so much, chairpersons. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Let's have a next session sooner and again. Thank you so much, everybody.
Most
Great.
welcome,
Bye.
Monica.
Thanks.
It's our pleasure to be in part of this NutriCon 2020. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I have been watching the session since yesterday, and lovely interactions. And I simply love the concept of, the recipe competitions, and then taking up specific topics for the sessions. It was a great concept. Congratulations to the entire NutriCon team. It was wonderfully carried forward.
Thank
Great.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.